It's Thursday, December 11th, 2025. It is the 345th day of the year, and right now, the Midwest is getting slammed by an active winter storm that is just the first of two systems set to impact the region over the next 72 hours. We are talking about dangerous travel conditions, accumulating snow that could reach 6 to 8 inches in the hardest hit areas, and then behind all of this, life-threatening cold with wind chills plummeting to negative 40 degrees across portions of the upper Midwest. This is a 1-2 punch that millions of Americans need to be prepared for. In today's forecast, I am going to walk you through where the snow is falling right now when the second system arrives, the snowfall totals you can expect in your area, and then we are going to dive deep into this dangerous cold outbreak with specific wind chill values city by city. After that, we will talk about the major pattern flip coming for Christmas week. Let me start with the current situation, because as I am recording this, we have winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings in effect across a huge swath of the central United States. Look at this. Winter weather advisories stretch from South Dakota all the way through Iowa, central Illinois, and then down into southern Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia, and even parts of Virginia. Winter storm warnings are posted for the Louisville and Cincinnati metro areas where the heaviest snow is expected over the next 12 to 24 hours. This first clipper system is moving southeast right now. By around 10 p.m. tonight, the heaviest band of snow is going to be situated from Springfield, Illinois, down through Bloomington, Terre Haute, and into Indianapolis. Louisville is going to start seeing moderate to heavy snow around midnight. Cincinnati, you are getting into the heavy stuff around 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. Friday morning. Picture here is Friday at 7 a.m. Check out how this snow has progressed overnight. We have got snow from Lexington, Kentucky, back through Charleston, West Virginia, and into the Appalachian Mountains. Notice how the Appalachians are wringing out a lot of this moisture. The heaviest precipitation stays west of the mountains, which is going to keep the mid-Atlantic from seeing significant accumulations from this first system. By Friday afternoon around 2 p.m., this first clipper is winding down. We are going to be left with some lingering flurries and some lake effect snow firing up downwind of the Great Lakes. The lake effect could be moderate to occasionally heavy Friday afternoon and Friday evening, especially south of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. Now, here is where things get interesting. We have got a second clipper system that is currently organizing up in Montana. This thing is locked and loaded and ready to track across virtually the same areas that just got hit by the first system. By late Friday night into Saturday, this second wave begins its journey southeast. Picture here is Saturday at 1 p.m. Look at this stripe of snow from Des Moines through Chicago, down into Indianapolis, and over toward Dayton and Columbus, Ohio. This second system could actually be a little bit more impactful than the first one for portions of the upper Midwest. The snow continues Saturday evening and pushes into West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. By Sunday morning around 7 a.m., we have got snow reaching the Interstate 95 corridor. Now, this is not going to be a major snowstorm for places like Philadelphia, New York City, or D.C., but you could wake up Sunday morning to a coating to 2 inches on the ground, which is enough to create some slick spots on the roads. All right, let me break down the snowfall totals because I know that is what everyone wants to know. Starting up in Montana, both systems combined could dump over a foot of snow across portions of the state. That is where we see the heaviest totals from these two clippers. As the snow drops southeast into South Dakota, we are looking at 4 to 7 inches. Now, Iowa, this is where you need to pay attention. Des Moines, I think you are looking at 4 to 6 inches total from both systems. Could be closer to 6. Cedar Rapids, 5 to 7 inches is a good bet. These are cumulative totals, so you are getting hit twice within about 36 hours. Central Illinois, this is your bullseye zone. Peoria could see 6 to 8 inches when it is all said and done. Bloomington, Illinois, 5 to 7 inches. Springfield, 5 to 7 inches. These areas are right in the path of both systems, and the snow is going to pile up. Chicago, you are a little bit further north, so I think 2 to 4 inches total is more likely for you. Some of that could come from lake effect enhancement as well. Moving into Indiana, Indianapolis is looking at 4 to 6 inches combined from both clippers. The first system brings you 2 to 4, then the second one adds another 2 to 3 on top of that. Terre Haute, similar numbers, 4 to 6 inches total. Fort Wayne could see 3 to 5 inches. Ohio, you are getting hit pretty good as well. Columbus, 3 to 5 inches total. Dayton, 4 to 6 inches. Cincinnati, this is interesting because you are under a winter storm warning for the first system. I think Cincinnati sees 3 to 6 inches from the first clipper, then maybe another 1 to 2 from the second system, so we are talking about 5 to 8 inches total. That is significant. Kentucky, Louisville is under a winter storm warning, and I think that is warranted. 3 to 5 inches from system number 1, then another inch or 2 from system number 2, so Louisville is looking at 4 to 7 inches total. Lexington, 3 to 5 inches combined. As we move into West Virginia, Charleston could pick up 3 to 5 inches. The Appalachians are going to see some enhanced totals with orographic lift, maybe 4 to 6 inches in the higher elevations. Western Pennsylvania, you are looking at 2 to 4 inches, maybe 3 to 5 in spots. The Interstate 95 corridor is going to see much lighter amounts. Philadelphia, 1 to 3 inches. New York City, 1 to 2 inches. Maybe locally, 3 inches. DC, probably just a coating to an inch. Boston might miss most of this, but you could see some flurries or light snow Sunday morning. And I want to remind you about the lake effect machines. These are going to be cranking behind both systems. Western New York, particularly south of Lake Ontario, you could see an additional foot to 17 inches of lake effect snow on top of what the clippers bring. The Tug Hill Plateau north of Syracuse, that is your bullseye for lake effect with potentially 15 to 20 inches. Western Michigan is also going to get hammered with lake effect snow. Now let's talk about the cold, because this is the most dangerous part of this entire forecast. The polar vortex is split into 2 pieces. One piece is spinning over northern Canada, and another piece is over Asia. A lobe of the Canadian piece is going to plunge south like a knife right into the Great Lakes and Midwest this weekend. This is textbook Arctic air mass intrusion. Let me walk you through the temperature timeline day by day so you understand just how cold it is going to get. Friday morning, we are already starting to feel the cold behind the first system. North Dakota is waking up to temperatures around -10 to -20 degrees. Minnesota, -5 to -15. Wisconsin, 0 to -10. Chicago, you are around 10 to 15 degrees Friday morning. Not terrible yet, but it is coming. Saturday morning, the real cold starts to arrive. North Dakota, we are talking about -20 to -30 degrees. Bismarck, -25. Fargo, -25. Minnesota, -15 to -25 degrees. Duluth could be near -25. Minneapolis, -15 to -20. Wisconsin, Saturday morning, -10 to -20 degrees. Madison, -15. Green Bay, -15. Chicago, you drop to around 0 to -5 degrees Saturday morning. Cedar Rapids, Iowa, -10 degrees. Des Moines, -10 to -15. Sunday morning is when we hit the coldest temperatures. This is the peak of the Arctic blast. North Dakota, actual air temperatures of -30 degrees are possible in multiple locations. Northeastern Montana could also see -30. Minnesota, widespread -20 to -30 degrees. Fargo and Bismarck could both be at -30 degrees Sunday morning. Minneapolis, -20 to -25 degrees. International Falls, you could be near -35. Wisconsin Sunday morning, -15 to -25 degrees. Madison, -20. Milwaukee, -15. Green Bay, -20. Upper Michigan, -20 to -30 in spots. Chicago, you are looking at -5 to -10 degrees Sunday morning. That is the coldest of the season so far for you. As we go further south, Cedar Rapids, -10 to -15 degrees. Des Moines, -15 degrees. Sioux City, -20. Indianapolis, you could be right around 0 degrees Sunday morning. St. Louis, around 5 degrees. Louisville, Kentucky, 10 to 15 degrees. Even Nashville, Tennessee is going to be feeling this with temperatures around 15 to 20 degrees Sunday morning. Now, if you are wondering how cold it is going to feel when you step outside, we need to talk about wind chill because this is where frostbite becomes a real concern. The winds are going to be howling out of the north and northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour with gusts over 30. This is going to drive those wind chills down to dangerous levels. Friday morning at 7 a.m., we are already seeing wind chills near negative 30 in North Dakota and northeastern Montana. Minnesota, wind chills negative 15 to negative 25. Wisconsin, negative 10 to negative 20. This is just the beginning. Saturday morning, check this out. Widespread wind chills of negative 30 to negative 40 degrees are going to cover North Dakota, northern South Dakota, and northern Minnesota. Fargo, wind chills negative 35 to negative 40. Bismarck, negative 35. Grand Forks, negative 40. These are life-threatening wind chills. Frostbite can occur in under 10 minutes. Minneapolis, Saturday morning, wind chills negative 30 to negative 35. Duluth, negative 35. Wisconsin, you are looking at wind chills of negative 20 to negative 30 degrees. Madison, negative 25. Green Bay, negative 25 to negative 30. Chicago, wind chills around negative 15 to negative 20 Saturday morning. Sunday morning is the worst of it. North Dakota, wind chills could drop to negative 45 degrees in some locations. This is extreme. Minnesota, widespread wind chills of negative 35 to negative 45 degrees. Minneapolis, negative 35 to negative 40. Street cloud, negative 40. Rochester, negative 35. Wisconsin, Sunday morning, wind chills negative 25 to negative 35 degrees across much of the state. Chicago, wind chills negative 20 to negative 25. Cedar Rapids, Iowa, negative 30. Des Moines, negative 25 to negative 30. Even down in Indianapolis, wind chills could be near negative 15 to negative 20 degrees. St. Louis, wind chills around negative 10 to negative 15. Keep in mind, with wind chills in the negative 20 to negative 30 range, frostbite is possible on exposed skin in 15 minutes or less. When you get down to negative 35 to negative 45, we are talking about frostbite in less than 10 minutes. This is dangerous, life-threatening cold. But don't be scared, be prepared. Make sure your home heating system is working properly. Have emergency supplies ready. Check on elderly neighbors. If you must travel, have a winter survival kit in your car with blankets, food, water, and a way to call for help. Let me break this down by region so you know exactly what you are facing in your area. If you are in the northern plains, specifically North Dakota, South Dakota, and northeastern Montana, you are looking at the most extreme conditions. Snow totals of 4 to 12 inches depending on location, then Sunday morning temperatures of negative 25 to negative 30 degrees with wind chills negative 40 to negative 45. This is life-threatening. Avoid unnecessary travel Saturday night through Monday morning. If you lose power, have a backup plan. If you are in Minnesota and northern Wisconsin, you are dealing with both significant snow and extreme cold. Lake effect could add 6 to 12 inches in the usual spots. Sunday morning temperatures negative 20 to negative 30 degrees with wind chills negative 35 to negative 45. Make sure vehicles are winterized. Have emergency supplies. This is not a weather event to take lightly. If you are in Iowa, central Illinois, and southern Wisconsin, total snow accumulations of 4 to 8 inches are likely in a corridor from Sioux City through Des Moines, Cedar Rapids, down through Peoria and Bloomington. Chicago, you are looking at 2 to 4 inches. Sunday morning, temperatures drop to negative 10 to negative 20 degrees, with wind chills negative 25 to negative 35. Travel Saturday is going to be difficult with the snow. Sunday is dangerous with the cold. If you are in the Ohio Valley, like Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky, you are getting hit with both clippers. Total snowfall of 4 to 8 inches is expected from Indianapolis through Cincinnati. Columbus and Dayton, 3 to 6 inches. After the snow clears, Sunday morning lows drop to 0 to 10 degrees with wind chills negative 10 to negative 20. This is below zero cold for many areas that do not see that very often. Make sure pipes are protected. If you are in West Virginia and western Pennsylvania, snowfall totals of 3 to 6 inches are likely higher in the mountains. Sunday morning lows in the single digits to low teens, with wind chills near 0 to -10. Not as extreme as further northwest, but still cold enough to cause problems. For those along the Interstate 95 corridor from DC up through Boston, you are looking at light snow Sunday morning, generally 1 to 3 inches. Sunday temperatures in the 20s with wind chills in the teens. This is the least impacted region, but still below average and cold. All right. Now let's talk about what happens after this Arctic blast, because there is a major pattern change coming. This right here is the story of our fall and early winter. We've been stuck in this pattern with persistent troughing across the eastern half of the United States. This has brought below average temperatures and active weather to the east, while the west has been mild and dry under ridging. Well, that pattern is about to break down in a big way. After this weekend's Arctic blast, a massive ridge is going to build over the western United States and then retrograde eastward. Look at this. By the middle of next week, December 15th, 16th, 17th, that western ridge starts to flex and spread east. We get a brief thaw starting midweek. Now, between December 18th and 20th, there is another shot of cold possible. Another lobe of the polar vortex could dip south and bring another round of cold, and potentially another winter storm to the Midwest and Great Lakes. The GFS and European models are both showing this. For you weather nerds out there, this could be a significant system if the timing and track come together, but the confidence is only moderate at this range. Then we get into Christmas week and boom, the pattern completely flips. A strong, dominant ridge builds over much of the United States. Get ready for what I believe will be the great thaw of December 2025. Temperature anomalies could be 20 to 30 degrees above average across much of the eastern United States by Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Check out how dramatic this flip is. Sunday, December 14th, we are 40 to 45 degrees below average across the Midwest. By December 23rd, 24th, we could be 20 to 30 degrees above average in many of the same locations. That is a swing of 50 to 70 degrees in the temperature pattern. Places that are -20 on Sunday could be in the 40s by Christmas. That is quite the weather roller coaster, son. The Climate Prediction Center 8 to 14 day outlook is already showing this. Above average temperatures likely across much of the eastern 2/3 of the United States heading into the week of Christmas. Below average precipitation for the southeast and east coast. This means we are looking at a dry, mild Christmas for many of you. Now, the Pacific Northwest, you are going to continue to get pounded with moisture. Storm after storm is going to roll in off the Pacific with heavy rain at low elevations and heavy snow in the Cascades and Sierras. We are talking feet of snow for the mountains over the next 2 weeks. British Columbia, Alberta, the Canadian Rockies, also going to see significant snow. Looking even further ahead into January, the pattern changes again. A persistent trough is going to set up over western Canada and the western United States. This is going to be your cold air source. Meanwhile, a ridge likely sets up over the southern United States and southeast. This means January could be milder than average for the south and southeast, but winter is not over. We are still going to have chances for winter storms diving out of Canada into the Midwest, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and Northeast as the polar jet remains active. So to wrap this up, here is what you need to know. 2 clipper systems bring snow to the Midwest and Ohio Valley Thursday night through Sunday morning. Total accumulations of 4 to 8 inches, likely from Iowa through central Illinois and Indiana. 3 to 6 inches for Ohio and Kentucky. Lake effect adds 12 to 17 inches in western New York. Behind the snow, life-threatening cold arrives. Sunday morning temperatures -20 to -30 across the northern plains and upper Midwest, wind chills -35 to -45 degrees. Frostbite is possible in under 10 minutes. Another potential winter storm looms for December 18th through 20th for the upper Midwest and Great Lakes. Then Christmas week brings a major warm-up with the great thaw of December 2025. Temperature swings of 50 to 70 degrees are possible in the pattern from this Sunday to Christmas. If you have travel plans this weekend, consider postponing. The combination of snow followed by extreme cold is going to create very hazardous conditions. If you must be outside Sunday morning, limit your time to just a few minutes and cover all exposed skin. Make sure heating systems are working and you have emergency supplies. If you are excited about the Christmas warm-up, let me know in the comments down below. If you are hoping for a white Christmas and disappointed by this pattern change, let me know that too. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next one.